Hello everyone and welcome. It's Shanna. Now we have got some rub-on transfers. These are Simple Stories Simply Vintage Lavender Fields rub-on transfers. And we're going to work with those today. There's just lots of fun rub-ons here. We've got all the little lavender, the honeycomb, the jars of honey, shelf. We've got a little bag with some lavender, some honey drippings, and lots of cinnamons, and a jar with some honey. And we're going to work with this. This video is just going to be a quick card, and it's really more of a story time video. I had another video completed and ready to air on my channel, and the product did not release. So I quickly unlisted the video so that it would not air. And I was checking periodically because my time zone is different, thinking that they might upload the product, release it. And I keep checking and it's not released. And so I thought I'm going to come on and make a quick card and video for my channel. So it's going to air late and I'll check again before I run this. And it's possible this could run the next day. But anyway, so part of what I thought we'd talk about, I'm bringing in the Lavender Fields hexagon die set. I'm using a couple of panels of the dies, and I'm also bringing in the 6x6 pattern paper. You guys have been seeing a lot of this on my channel because I've got a lot of the product, and it's super beautiful. Well, anyway, so I went in my craft room, and I was, checking the site to see if it's released yet. Still didn't want to release it. I thought, well, let's just clean the craft room. And as I got to looking, I had these scraps laying around. You can see I've die cut some pieces out of this purple cardstock here. We've got some flowers and a banner that I have die cut out. And I had some strips of the Lavender Fields pattern paper that I had cut away from the other cards that I had designed with it that I was going to air. I actually paired this Lavender Fields set, which has already released, with a couple of dies that are just supposed to release on the 20th. And at this point, it's 8:25 EST, and it hasn't released. So I thought I would just go ahead and use these scraps and put together a video for my channel, and it will air late. I normally release my videos at 4 a.m. on my channel. Originally, when I started my channel, I would release at 10 a.m. is when I released. But then I found out that I had a pretty good set of viewers that were watching it very early. And once I realized that, then I started releasing my videos at 4 a.m. So this one's going to be significantly later. And then hopefully the one that I had scheduled that I unlisted will be able to run tomorrow. I have put in a message into the design team just to see when it's going to release, because the date that was on the spreadsheet indicated March 20th, but at this point it's not released. So I don't know. I thought you might find it a little bit interesting, and I don't know why I'm laying it this way, because I want to do the honey colored side with the honey jars facing up. But anyway, I nicked the corner of this when I go to cut it, and I'm going to straighten it up and I'll cut it again. And then I kind of nick the corner, and so I'll cut it down again. So I'm going to fiddle around with this. And we're dog sitting, and I've got my oldest daughter's dog. She just has one now because the other one passed. And this one is a big doodle. I mean, it's like a horse. It's like a small horse. And this thing is laying on my lap right now. Well, anyway, so meantime, I'm trying to get this panel to where I can use it because I nicked the corner. So I'm just going to make it a little narrower, and then it'll work just fine. And then we'll get it laid down. But really, this is very simple card making. I'm going to do the rub-on transfers. I'm layering up some paper, and we're going to have a pretty card with some layers, some hexagon layers. So with Spellbinders, you get a release schedule, and it tells you when all the products are going to release. And most of them, your clubs are from generally from the 1st to the 6th. You want to get your videos out on it. And then the core product, the new releases, she's getting wild. The new releases normally are the 10th, and then they have some ad hoc ones that release on different dates, and so you kind of have to follow your schedule for those. And this particular video was one that was going to release on the 20th. And so I, did all the work and got it done and had it scheduled and ready to go and everything. And then I was noticing as I was adding my links and stuff that it wasn't active on the site. And so I thought, well, I generally will wake up in the middle of the night because I don't sleep well. I thought when I wake up, I'll check it. And so I was checking it at different times when I'd wake up in the night and it wasn't active. So I eventually decided I would just make it unlisted. And I thought, well, I've been really, really sick. I mean, I have been just struggling. I've got the influenza B or whatever, and I've been coughing my head off. And I've got a cough drop right now just to try and keep myself from coughing. And we've got the house pretty cold, just trying to keep the coughing down. Anyway, so I thought, well, if I can get a minute and not cough through this, I can throw together a fast card and we'll just air it later. Plus, it's been nice to kind of get my mind off of all of the symptoms that I've been having. It's been a struggle just trying to not cough. And anyway, so I'm going to get this rub-on laid on down here. And I'm actually putting it on the underneath layer, which I thought it would just peek out behind there. I thought that would be fun. So we're going to get that done. So anyway, so what I'm going to do is just, finish this video, and then I'll check again and see if the release, because I like to release the products on the day of release just so that, my subscribers can see the new product the day that it comes out. And then hopefully they might be interested in shopping with my links. That's another thing about being a content creator on a design team is, you post those links so that in the hopes that people will click on the links. If you're going to shop with them anyway, you might as well click on one of your favorite content creators' links so that they can get credit for it, earn a small commission, and then it tells the company that, the content creator is working with the product, is promoting it, and then they will continue to send you, more product to work with. And so that's how I'm able to bring, new content to my channel every day, because I have the new product and can work with new things. Now, certainly I've got a stash of things that I can use and can work with, but sometimes it's frustrating for viewers if you work with things that aren't available because they see things. I had a viewer ask about some arches the other day that I used, and unfortunately they were not available. And I scanned everywhere to try and find a link for this viewer, but I couldn't find it. And so I know that can be frustrating. Now this peel off or rub on is actually bigger than what I need, so I'm going to cut it down. I can save those other 2 jars for something else and use them later. So I'm going to get this shelf, and I've made it more narrow, and get it laid down on this hexagon, and it'll be our focal point. So I'm just giving it a good rub on, and we'll get it laid down on here. So, you can be creative with these rub-ons. Just cut them to the size that you need. And then I'll just trim off whatever's hanging over the edges, and then we'll have a little scene. I thought it would look nice with that strip of pattern paper we've got there with the honey. I thought it would just kind of tie everything in together. And then the black panel has got the lavender and the green leaves, and I think it'll look really pretty. So I'm just testing it and then rubbing as I need to. And I apologize. I do have a cough drop in my mouth to try and keep me from getting into one of these coughing fits. And I did go to the doctor. Well, obviously, got diagnosed, and I'm taking all, everything and doing everything that I'm supposed to be doing, but it is just taking its own sweet time. And quite honestly, I think I needed a break. I've had a lot of undue stress lately from a dumb decision that I made. And so I think it's making it harder for me to get to feeling better. And I know I've mentioned on my channel, I generally am pretty healthy and don't pick up the bugs, but I think I just wore myself out with too much work and Just really ran myself down. So I'm going to layer these up here. And I'm going to pop up the purple one just so we'll be able to see a little bit more of that kind of honeycomb pattern underneath there. And it'll create a little shadow and just add a little dimension and some extra interest to the card. And we'll get this foam tape laid down on there, and we're going to get this popped up. I still got some of that rub on showing behind there, so I'm just stripping it off. And we're going to get this laid down on here. Get it lined up. And now we've got a cute little scene. We've just got that honey just kind of peeking out underneath that the lower hexagon panel there. It can't talk. That's another thing. I'm on the struggle bus. So the weather, fortunately, was beautiful yesterday, and I was able to sit outside a little bit because I think, the sunshine and the warmer weather does help you to feel better. And so I was thankful for that. I'm going to get this laid down on here. And I've got a big glob of glue on the desk, and I thought I'm just going to mop it up with this panel and add a little bit more glue to it. And I think it's pretty. The black pattern paper is a little bit darker than what I'd normally use, and then I paired it with that dark purple. I thought I'd bring in one of those honey servers. I don't know. I'm sure there's a name for that. I can't think of it at the moment, but I'll get it laid down on there. And that is some of the chipboard from the lavender fields. And my glue's seeping underneath there, so I'm going to clean it up. I've just got a rag that I use for just everything in the craft room. I'm just going to blot that glue up and then get my little honey dipper laid down there. And I have got a little chipboard sentiment that we're going to add to it. And this is a really quick card. I mean, this is real time. So I made this in about 13 minutes about. So pretty quickly, when you've got some fun products, you can easily bring it together. Now, this was an afterthought. I grabbed one of the transfer bees, and I'm going to rub it on. I should have done it before I laid the panel down, but it's going to work out just fine, and we'll get our little bee laid down on there. And I wanted to bring the bee in because we've got sweet as can be as our sentiment. And so I wanted to add the little bee. And then that'll finish it off. So thankfully, this card came together pretty quickly. So I appreciate you watching. If you liked the video, hit the like. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Have a great day.